I have very much soured on every single mainstream conservative party over the past couple of years specifically, okay? My personal political takes, I'm a Trump guy. I like Trump. I like most of the stuff that he did. I think he's the best representative when it comes to conservative, traditional, whatever you want to call right-wing politics, okay? He's the best representative that we've seen in a long time. There's a couple of disciples underneath of him that I like a lot. You know, DeSantis, I think Kari Lake could be pretty good in Arizona as well. The rest of them, though, they're a little too wishy-washy for what I like, and especially when it comes to the Conservative Party of Canada, I am not taking that little Frenchman seriously at all, because again, I at least have a little bit of short-term memory when it comes to that trucker protest that happened in February. Did you go down there and meet with any of those truckers that were summarily hauled off by the unauthorized and unconstitutional use of the Emergency Act? No, you just sat back and did nothing, waited for everybody to get hauled out, and then you went and shot a little video, a little promo video. It was like, look at all the people that are no longer on the streets anymore. You're a coward, and you took over a party that's never going to achieve anything more. It's already hit the glass ceiling that's there, because if you think the media spin when it comes to conservative right-wing politics in the States is bad, well, just wait until you get just a little glimpse of what goes on in Canada, because if you think the echo chamber is bad at the top down there, oh boy, you ain't seen nothing yet when it comes up here. If you have one of those inklings that you think they're, oh, Ron DeSantis in 2024 would be so much better than Trump because he has none of the baggage, Pierre Poilievre, Poilievre, Polly Pocket, whatever the fuck you want to call him, okay? He's the guy who just took over the Conservative Party of Canada. He has none of that baggage that's out there. He's just very eloquent. He can get up there and hold an audience in the House of Commons and elaborate on a point, get right down to it, and really sway public sentiment. Is he the best guy for the job at this point? Yes, because he's, again, it's kind of like being the smartest retard at this point. It's not really a whole lot of competition that he had to overcome, but it's definitely the bad situation. But now you have global, city, CTV, CBC, all funded by the government, by the way, the Canadian government, okay, running these big white supremacist campaigns. It's like, he's a little fucking French guy. What the hell are you talking about white supremacy, and especially in Canada? Like, get the fuck out of here. You just go back and try to find some bodies in some of those mass graves in the residential schools. Get fucked, you bunch of propagandist commie cunts. But no, if you think about Ron DeSantis is just not going to have any of the baggage that Trump had. Just take a look at what the media in Canada is doing to Pierre Poilievre, Polly Pocket right now, and you will see exactly what happens. Because remember, Trump was just an anomaly when it comes to this stuff. He had all that baggage, except for the couple of days prior to when he descended the escalator at Trump Tower. He was loved by fucking everybody, and it's not like there was Bush is practically Hitler. It wasn't like there was big Nazi signs for him, right? Oh wait, that's exactly what fucking happened. If you are a conservative, if you are the opposition to the fucking media, you will be pilloried. You will be colored differently. So don't come to me with their, oh, we just need to go ahead and beat the Democrats on the whole optics decision. Fuck off. Your opinion is null and void because you don't know history. And that's why I totally embrace, especially when you take a look at what's going down there at the U.S.-Mexico border right now with all of the illegal immigrants that continue to pour over the fucking border. And then you got, Abbott, Ducey, and Ron DeSantis also flew in some guys out as well. You can see the actual fighters starting to manifest down there. And it's really great to see. But for the most part, the general Republican Party, those guys are intense fucking outliers at this point. The rest of these guys are just going to fucking flop over, probably with their assholes puckered for the camera, cheeks spread wide the fuck open in order to capitulate to whatever the Democrats want, okay? Because you take a look at this, okay? Democrats decry Lindsey Graham's 15-week abortion ban. I don't know why Lindsey Graham would be proposing any of that, because that would involve him putting a penis into a fucking vagina, and we know what he likes to do in his off time. But the Republicans, whatever I'm told, okay, they're always just the hard right, Bible-thumping Christian conservatives that are out there. Why would they concede so much ground to have a 15-week abortion ban? Why wouldn't they have a total abortion ban with just a couple of the carve-outs, the old ones that are out there, okay? The ones that have been enshrined since the beginning of time, going for the health of the mother and rape and incest, because those are always included, but it's always some low IQ conversation. Oh, what happened? What if that happened to your sister and something happened to her? It's like, okay, cool. I love emotional arguments too, but I much prefer principled arguments, something that Republicans have lost for such a long time. Whenever you see such extreme arguments and extreme policies start to come up, okay, like all of this stuff when it comes to maps, which are just more colloquially referred to as pedophiles, you know, people that should be put on the fucking wall. You think that, wow, they really overstepped their bounds this time. The left have gone fucking nuts when it comes to this stuff. And then they'll just walk it back a little bit, and it's like, okay, fine, we won't have children attend drag shows at strip clubs. We'll only have drag queens come in and read them books for their English class, and then you'll have conservatives on the other side. It's like, oh, thank God. See, guess what? We're just out here. We're conservative. We're conserving real values for you. Man, you've seen the societal rot, and it's only... I don't really blame Democrats, because Democrats are going to fucking Democrat. They're just going to continue to progress towards degeneracy at a rapid fucking rate. It's like getting mad at a bird for flying and Chuck Schumer for having terrible fucking posture. He's old, okay? Just fucking retire already. Both of them up there. That's over 150 years of life in two people right there, okay? You think you should be putting term limits in on some of the elected representatives? I fucking believe so. So yeah, this whole party politics thing at this point, it's so fucking retarded, okay? Because for far too long, the Republican Party was the let's lose with dignity, friend. Yeah, no, fuck off. I like the little outliers right now, and they could be a part of any fucking political party. I like Ron DeSantis, not because he's a Republican, but because he's actually memeing his way to a real soft spot in my heart. So yeah, let's take a look at some of this opposition to this 15-week abortion ban, which again, I'm not, out here flinging fucking jizz around. It's not like I have a dog in this race, okay? Especially up here in Canada where, I don't know, you can get abortions on demand up to and including the day of birth if you're really feeling avarice about it. But why there's this level of capitulation fucking baffles me. Congressional Democrats are decrying a bill unveiled by Senator Lindsey Graham that would ban abortion at the federal level after 15 weeks. I don't know why you need this. It's just becoming a state-level issue because this isn't really fighting back against anything. It's coming up against a school bully, and then instead of just coming with your strongest right cross, you're just coming in with a little jab with an open hand, just going, stop it, go home, you're being mean. Or it's writing a strongly worded email. That's the equivalent action that we have here. Oh, you dastardly, you leftists that are out there, you guys just want to kill kids. And you know what we're going to do? We're not going to allow you to kill them after 15 weeks because that's fine. Just a fucking arbitrary number, okay? You're what? After the first trimester, that's when it's all fucking said and done. Okay, anything after that, that's just inhumane. Graham on September 13th unveiled the bill, dubbed the Protecting Capable Unborn Children from Late-Term Abortions Act. No, it's second trimester, and then after that, okay? Because I can do just a little bit of math. Legislation is similar to another bill introduced in the Senate by Graham last year that would change the prohibition from the previous bill's 20-week ban to a reduced 15-week ban. Cool. It's still in the exact same fucking area. Okay, what's changed on that one? Because again, medical technology is only going to be able to continue to improve. So again, you need to figure out, okay? And this is where ultimately all of these lawsuits, all of these bills are going to end up at the court, and the Supreme Court is going to have to decide at one point or another. I don't know if it'll be in my lifetime. I don't know if it'll even be by the end of the year. Who fucking knows at this point? But they are going to have to decide when the United States recognizes a human life. At what point is that? Because Texas would argue it's at about the 6-week mark where you have a detectable heartbeat. Other places, like this bill, we'll just use that as an example, the fetus can somehow ascertain pain. And it's like, okay, cool. So that's what it means to be alive. But if we get to a point with medical technology where even if somebody decides to go and page Dr. Hoover in order to get a little fucking fetus out at 5 or 6 weeks, they can gestate that little clump of cells and create a kid after the proper amount of time in an artificial womb or something like that, because that technology is potentially on the horizon. But again, that would put women down at a moment's notice, so I would just go ahead and pump the brakes on that, because again, we don't even have reliable hormonal birth control for men out here. So you can put a fucking rocket on Mars, okay, you can put a lander on Pluto, but you can't quite figure out how to go and advance beyond a fucking condom or a snip. Funny thing about that, Anyways, during a press conference on the bill, Graham argued that the legislation would target physicians providing banned abortions rather than women seeking them is necessary. And again, see, this is all about how does this affect women? No, this should be about the life of the fucking innocent unborn child. How about that? Not, well, we really need to pander to women. And this is another reason why the Republicans continue to fucking lose. You have a winning argument out here right now, okay? It's very fucking simple to see. With the rise of certain people that are on the internet, somebody who I really appreciate that's out there, Andrew Tate, Tristan Tate, the Tate brothers that are out there pushing a very pro-masculine message and the fact that they are the most Googled people on fucking earth, okay? There's a want and a need and a desire for a very masculine-centered message. But no. This is where the establishment Republicans are. These are the mainstream Republicans that Joe Biden and the rest of the Democratic Party are talking about, because I don't know about you. Maybe this whole, oh my God, you're just telling women what they can do with their body. No. The way that they should be selling this bill is that there is an innocent life at stake here, okay? And once it becomes medically viable, we need to enshrine that, because every single life under the United States Constitution is protected. They are afforded the same human rights that everybody else is. That is non-negotiable. That is not for Congress to decide. But instead, no, it's like women are most affected at this one. You just happen to be the carriers in this situation, okay? And again, here's another thing. Oh, you don't have a uterus. You don't have a seat at the table. What, did these bitches getting fucking spontaneously pregnant or some shit like that? You're the one who cracked open your fucking legs and decided to take it. But let's not abdicate your responsibility on this one for a fucking second. Anyways, yeah, back to this. Providing banned abortions rather than women seeking them. Yeah, that's nice. Going after doctors or something like that. Okay. Is necessary to place the United States in line with most of the rest of the developed world. In Europe, Graham noted 47 of the 50 continental countries ban abortions after 12 to 15 weeks of gestation. But no, there were a whole bunch of protests that were out there in France that actually have stricter abortion policies than most of the United States. But it's so funny, right? Because whenever you do something at the even just perceived sake of women's freedom, oh my God, you cannot mobilize enough people to come out in support of some arbitrary decision. Under the terms of the bill, physicians providing banned abortions after the legal threshold will be on the hook for a federal criminal charge, carrying a fine for as long as 5 years in federal prison. Well, okay, if you're just going to argue that this is a fetus and every fetus is a human life, just charge them with murder then. Are you willing? Okay. If you're going to be strict with your beliefs that abortion is murder, okay, and that every life is important, why don't you just have them down there for murder? First degree murder. It's premeditated. You walk in there, okay, you want a pregnancy terminated. Tell me how that is not murder. Just saying. However, the bill would permit exceptions in cases where physicians determine the mother life is in danger as a product of rape or incest. And again, always the fucking carve-outs, exactly what you need. But again, I think it's Utah that has the, oh, okay, cool, yeah. It's basically a full abortion ban. I think that's what they have, or it's either that or it's just a couple of weeks. You miss your first period, you better go fucking piss on a stick, so fucking figure your shit out. Hey, me, I'm not like these politicians. I think that women are smart enough to know if there's going to be bodily changes going on. They know if they're pregnant or not. You're late a couple of days, you're late a fucking week, and they've been taking loads like a fucking washing machine. Chances are you know that something is going to be fucking up, okay? But yeah, back to what Utah is doing. They need a police report in order for you to qualify for a rape or a product of sexual assault. I appreciate that, because I don't need any more additional fucking felonious sexual assault, sexual harassment claims that would just come off the back of some unresponsible bitch needing to go get a fucking scrape and suck. Predictably, Democrats were quick to decry the bill, of course, and they have the moral high ground on this one, because again, you take a look at the Democrats' base, more women than men in places that are bluer than most. So just like student loan forgiveness, sorry, this is just simply pandering to their base. During a speech in the Senate floor, Graham unveiled the bill. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer called it a radical bill to institute a nationwide restriction on abortions. Yeah, after 15 weeks. Were you listening to what Lindsey had to say on that one? I understand, because Lindsey's a girl's name. You don't listen to girls. Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi. Oh my God. Like, I want to hear about abortion from somebody who last had their period when Jurassic was in front of it. Echoed the sentiment in a statement. Was this before or after happy hour? Joke's on you. She's always drunk. Saying Republicans are gleefully charging ahead with the deadly crusade to punish and control women's health decisions. Cool, but weren't you also the same one that said, oh yeah, if nurses don't get the jab, then they don't have a job? Funny thing about that. Anyways, we are already seeing the agonizing reality of the radical bans enacted by the radical right-wing state legislature. Oh, okay, cool. Pelosi wrote, continuing, extreme MAGA Republicans in Congress clearly want to inflict the same suffering on every woman in every state. Oh my God. So, okay, I guess Lindsey Graham, fucking waffling Lindsey Graham is a part of the extremist movement in MAGA. Wow. That's why they never wanted to find that shit. Even though they're going to try to indict Trump and then have all of his supporters or just have MAGA designated as a terrorist organization. You think I fucking joke, okay? But they managed to do it with a self-proclaimed drinking, what was the way that they put it? A gentleman's club with a drinking problem? Yeah. Guys who would actually go out there and protect businesses from the myth or the idea of Antifa violence, right? Yeah, I got them just completely fucking wiped off the map. But yeah, Antifa, Black Lives Matter, the people that ended up committing all of the atrocities during the Summer of Love, they end up getting a run free. Funny thing about that. But let's talk about another area where Republicans are weak, okay? Because, again, they'll fucking back down on that abortion bill, and it's not going to go anywhere because, again, Democrats control both houses of government, so that bill is dead on arrival. So if Lindsey actually meant what he said, he would go ahead and put that forward next term, even though Biden would just veto it or strike it down. Or if the Democrats really wanted, if they wanted to be incredibly hypocritical, but, again, they don't really care about optics, okay? They care about winning, and that's what makes them so successful in making conservatives and Republicans secede more ground. They'll just unironically use the filibuster next time around, okay? Because you take a look at some of the polls, and I'm getting super excited for what's happening in the midterms because there's going to be a whole bunch of very interesting races, especially when you take a look at Senate ones and Pennsylvania. Philadelphia could be interesting too. See how many more 5 a.m. ballot dumps show up. Anyways, or the one that's going down in Arizona, same concern that's going to be down there as well. And then in Georgia, not Georgia specifically, but again, yeah, I think Fulton County will be interesting. Those are just misspeaks, but again, it's very interesting things to bring up because I have a long-term fucking memory. But yes, the Senate race in Georgia as well. All of those places, okay, there's a lot of instances where Republicans have a very good possibility of doing a lot of progress in the Senate towards retaking a majority. Now, you just need a competent leader in the Senate and get the fuck rid of the old cocaine Mitch Turtle, okay? You should push that motherfucker to the side. You guys might actually have a point and a hope going forward. My nominations, Josh Hawley, Mike Lee, Tommy Tuberville, even Ted Cruz, because mostly his speeches would just be more funny than anything else, but we'll see where it goes from there. But no, it'll just be funny for the justification where you had Democrats want to get rid of the filibuster for so long, for the past 2 years. Oh, those dastardly Republicans continue to use the filibuster. But then, yeah, the first time that they'll need to use it, it'll be like, oh no, it's a staple of our democracy. And we were wrong to AstroTurf and false flag Kirsten Sinema by sending a bunch of paid activists into the bathroom to chase her out of there. And Joe Manchin, oh, he's really not that bad of a guy. Yeah, you bunch of fucking sucks. But I'm getting too far ahead of myself. I want to take a look at a little bit more Republican hypocrisy here, because we're conserving the United States Constitution every step of the way. An assault on the Second Amendment. Over 100 Republicans expressed concern over card companies labeling gun sales. 100 Republicans. Cool. Over 200 are in the House, 50 are in the Senate. And you're not actually doing anything against MasterCard, Visa, all of the different payment processors that are out there that are separately segregating gun purchases by using their platforms in order to purchase a gun or put money down for a down payment in order for the new, 87,000 IRS agents to go ahead and flag those purchases and take a look through your history. Make it really fucking easy for the IRS and the DEA to come in and kick down your door. How did I say DEA? I mean ATF. But in case you didn't hear about this little development, I'll just fill you in on this. More than 100 Republicans, oh goody, In a letter, they wrote a strongly worded letter instead of just pointing to the United States Constitution. What is that, number 2 right there? Oh, right, shall not be infringed. Oh, okay, cool. Instead, they just wrote, well, we're getting really mad about this. You guys shouldn't do this. Anyways, wrote a letter concerned over the decision of several credit card giants. Oh, you can't tell them what to do. They're private companies after all. Oh, yeah, just take a look at the open fucking collusion that nobody's talking about between the Biden administration and big tech companies. But instead, no, we don't want to overstep our bounds here. We're the party of dignity. We're the grand old party after all. We need to lose with dignity. Fuck off. To establish a new specific merchant code for firearms, dealers calling the effort an assault on the Second Amendment. Well, if it was, just lodge your complaint. Just file the lawsuit. Tell them that they can't fucking do that. Earlier this month, the Internal Organization for Standards, ISO, a Switzerland-based group that sets and monitors quality standards for industries of all types, confirmed that one of its subcommittees had voted to establish a new merchant category code for firearms, which previously fell into a general merchandise category. It sounds a little vague, all things considered, but I'd have to see the other categories, because I'd imagine one would be probably, accommodations for like Airbnbs and hotels and all that shit, vehicle purchases or down payments, or just needing to put a deposit down for a vehicle rental, something like that. But anyways, following the decision made by the influential body Visa, one of the largest debit and credit card companies, adopted the change following ISO's decision to establish new merchant category code. Visa will proceed with next steps while ensuring we protect all legal commerce on the Visa network in accordance with our long-standing rules, Visa said in a statement. The NRA denounced the change. Well, yeah, of course, just counting all of their fucking dues that they collect. They don't do fucking anything. Calling it an erosion of Second Amendment rights, the decision to create a firearms-specific code is nothing more than a capitulation to anti-gun politicians and activists bent on eroding the rights of law-abiding Americans one transaction at a time, a spokesperson said. Now a coalition of more than 100 Republicans, led by House Republican Caucus Chairwoman Elise Stefanik, how adorable, are demanding answers from Visa over the move. In a letter addressed to Visa CEO Alfred Kelly, I'm sure he'll take a look at that and go, that's neat. Call me when you're subpoenaing me. Republican signatories echoed the NRA's condemnation of the move as anti-Second Amendment. And again, we could go into this even further, but I think you got the gist of it. Conservatives, Republicans, whatever the fuck these people want to call themselves, I'll just go ahead and just call it as I see it. Weak-kneed cucks. Because what are they standing up for? Oh, we wrote a strongly worded letter to one of the big credit card companies, okay? Don't know if MasterCard has made a public decision on that or what Amex is ultimately going to do, but you know that they're all going to fall in line. What, are you going to bring all the heads of the big credit card companies down to Congress and make them testify? Just like you do with all the heads of big tech, and then, oh, we made them testify. Oh, we got a 30-second clip from Mark Zuckerberg looking like a fucking android. Who gives a shit at the end of the day? What the fuck are you actually going to do about these constitutional rights? What are you going to do about actual life? What are you going to do about the Second Amendment and the people's rights to keep and bear arms? Nothing. You're just going to grandstand on it and make an election issue every other year. Worthless fucks. Don't be a party politics person. Be an individual politics person. Like I said before, way back in the cut, you can go take a look at some of those old videos when Elise Stefanik took over for Liz Cheney in this position, because that's when Liz Cheney got censured and now she's just crying her way into the fucking unemployment line. But Elise Stefanik is like, she's fine. And she's just right now doing more than what the rest of her Republican counterparts are doing. But at the end of the day, it's just the fucking email. You've already seceded so much ground. What's the last thing you're going to do? Ask to talk to Visa's manager? Nobody gives a shit at this point. Fucking make progress. Stop asking for votes. With all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.